Wow, what an exciting way to end a 3-day packed weekend of Skate America. Look at this, beautiful Las Vegas. We're here at the ice desk at 2021 Guaranteed Rate Skate America, joined again for one final time here this evening with the lovely Paulina Edmonds and Mariah Nagasu. Wow, I mean, so many emotions over the last couple of hours here. I didn't really know what to expect going into tonight for the women's free skate, but I think that we both, all three of us, have a lot to add. Paulina, just first thoughts going into for the first ice desk show tonight. What's going through your head?
You know, that was kind of a crazy event. Mariah and I were watching all the skaters absolutely kill so many of their performances. You know, I'm just still blown away by what we saw. What about you?
Yeah, definitely. It is pretty early on in the season, and so I think with the men we saw a couple more performances that are pretty more normal for where we are at this point in the season, but this event just kept building, and the women really brought it tonight. Just performance after performance had me on my feet, and each skater's journey is a little bit different, and some skaters, I was happy for them in that moment because I felt that was what they needed.
Now we're going to talk more specifically about the women in just a little bit, but let's show those final results for you guys. Wow, I mean, kind of a little bit what we were expecting, but also some places that we weren't. I know that we want to delve deeper into this as well. Alexandra coming out on top here, Daria in second, Young Yu in third. I know a lot of you are very excited about those placements as well. And then in that sixth place spot, Amber Glenn representing the United States. So many people excited about that as well. Let's start right off the top with that first place winner, Alexandra Trusova, Paulina. Only one quad here in this program, but what stood out the most to you in regards to her free skate?
You know, it was great to watch her nail a clean program here. The quadlets was outstanding at the beginning of the program. And I think for her, that consistency, you know, showing that she has that is great. Start to the season for her, you know, winning this event, putting her right on track to hopefully qualify for the Grand Prix final in a few months. I will say that this program is really catered to being full of quads. I know that her planned content is supposed to have 5 quads, and she only did 1 here today. And because of that, I think you can really see that she is missing a few intricate transitions, choreographically speaking, into these jumping passes, which is more noticeable when she's just doing the triples. But, you know, later on in the season, hopefully she puts those quads back in.
And Mariah, I know you have a lot to add in on this as well. What are your thoughts seeing this free skate program tonight?
A total element score of 85.68 is monstrous, like so high. I have to say though, I do agree with her program components, and like Paulina said, it is catered towards a quad. So to see that Trusova only scored 0.15 above Young Yu, I actually preferred Young's skating, just the speed and the flow and the transitions going in and out. When the quads are in there, I understand that the setup is necessary because just the idea for me of even attempting a quad is not plausible. I have to say Young's performance really took it away for me. However, Trusova definitely stole the thunder with the total element score, and so I have to say I do agree with where she landed on top.
I will say also it was surprising watching Daria nail the silver medal here because in the free skate, she did only have 1 triple-triple. We saw inside edges on the Lutzes and that flip out on the flip. So technically speaking, her program was not nearly as difficult as somebody like Young Yu with a triple axel, 2 triple-triple combinations, and a double axel triple toe. So very surprised with that result.
Well, let's talk a little bit more about Young Yu as well. I mean, it sounds like this was a favorite for you guys of the evening. She brought in that triple axel, big jumps, big performance value. Paulina, let's talk a little bit more about it, delve into her performance. I mean, it really was an incredible spectacle for those sitting in the audience and watching it live, and for those that got to watch it at home too.
You know, I think my favorite part of her performance was really the speed and power that she brought with that program. She covers so much ice on all of her jumping passes. Her skating just in general, we're watching on the screen right now. Wow, look at that triple axel. Got it at the beginning, stayed on her feet throughout the entire time. Just the ice coverage, I think it just, What about you, Mariah? What do you think?
You can see the way this triple triple flows across the ice, and she is a speed demon. She goes into it at 1,000,000 miles an hour. I'm so happy she landed her triple axel because in practice it's there for her. But I watched as she kept doing it over and over and over again, because when you hesitate going into it, which tends to happen in competition, she likes to take off a little bit inside the circle and then she cannot hold on to that landing. So to see her stick that landing today, look at the happiness. We felt the same way. I think we felt like we were skating with her, and so
yes, we were on our feet for this performance.
And it's crazy that triple axel that she fell on in the short program really impacted the standings, the final standings. And so you can't win with the short program, but you can definitely lose with one. And so I think that, personally speaking, I would have liked to see her in the silver, getting the silver medal, but still a bronze medal for Young Yu is a strong start.
Yeah, she has what, in my opinion, is the total package. I watched her take her bows at the end. I got chills as she was skating over to the kiss and cry. It really was an amazing moment to watch that live. Now, another person that really had a shining moment here, Amber Glenn. I think we need to delve into her as well. I mean, come on. What an incredible performance by her as well. Paulina, I know that you wanted to talk specifically about her. Let's get into her performance as well.
She really needed a performance like this today. I think this is going to be a huge confidence boost for her going into the rest of the season. It is an Olympic year, and I know she's vying for one of those spots. But really, what a stunning triple flip, triple toe at the very beginning of the program. So strong. She landed all her jumps. We saw her get more and more comfortable as the program went on, which was so good to see because I know that she was nervous at this event, but she did what she needed to do. Consistency-wise, I will say only having one triple triple is going to hold her back a little bit in the scoring, which is what we saw here today. She's going to need to up her technical just to be competitive in today's women field with how hard our tech has been pushed.
You know what? She went from the short program, though, where I said the triple triple was a little tight, and I know that she's capable of more, but the triple triple she put out today was the best she's shown out there, and I think that she went for consistency and to see the progress from her mental strength. It has been so refreshing, and I hope she continues to build on this upward path because she is one of the most talented skaters out there.
Now, I want to continue this conversation with Amber, too, and mental health. Now, Mariah, you snagged a pic yesterday of Amber Glenn getting ready to get out into the ice. She had her face essentially to the wall. She was kind of getting into the zone. I heard from you that she was extremely nervous. Nerves were taking her over. And I want to talk a little bit more about that. I mean, she went from that to what is just an incredible performance in the free skate tonight. I mean, getting over that hump is a huge thing that a lot of these skaters have to get through in order to perform to the best of their ability in these competitions.
It's so bright out there. I think she was taking a minute for herself, and we don't practice and train with cameras all over the place, and there's a lot going on backstage, so I totally love that she just faced the curtain and shut everything out just to help her get into the zone, because you just can't train for these bright lights. So many people are walking around, so for her to have this mechanism where she's like, okay, this is how I get back into place. We heard Brian Boitano say, even though I was at home, I trained like I was at the Olympics every single day, and that mental visualization is so important.
Now I hear the music in the background. I think we'd like to try and take a live shot of the podium right now. Wow, look at this. I mean, just so exciting. Just like you said, Paulina, Mariah, I know that you were really excited to see Young Yu up on that podium, as well as the two Russians here. I mean, pretty great skates all around. What are your thoughts seeing this out there tonight, Paulina?
It's so amazing that we are crowning some Skate America medalists here. The first Grand Prix is over. That's so crazy. I will say one other skater that really stood out at this event is Kaori. Wow.
Yes.
So much speed, so much power. It really just was amazing to see it live. In particular, her jumps cover so much ice. She is such a strong skater. I totally admire that. What about you?
We love watching the 6-minute warm-up because we see some of the skaters scuttling out of Kaori's way because, going into her jump, that momentum, if you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, it'll take you out. And when you're in competition mode, you're so focused on yourself that it's hard to be aware, but just I mean, it's easy to get in her way almost because she goes from like essentially the middle to the wall so quickly. And it's like, how do I just, you have to focus on yourself. You have to see what's going on around you. It's just a lot happening for us. For me personally, I love seeing the way her jump just flows, especially compared to other skaters who don't have that same explosion.
Yes, she is the definition of quality, and I think that's why we like her so much.
Now,
And so fast.
I know that we could talk women's free for hours between the two of you here on the ice desk. I would like to jump over and talk a little bit about the free dance tonight as well. Paulina, initial thoughts, just overall thoughts, seeing the performers out on the ice with this free dance.
The free dance was so exciting to watch. You know, this is the start of the season for them in the Grand Prix series, and so again, they're all fighting for that recognition, the Olympic spots at the end of this Grand Prix circuit. And for me, particularly, I really loved Olivia and Adrian's program. Their free dance was so powerful and strong. Wow, I loved them. Also,
How
our
about the
American
ending of that
skaters.
program?
Yes.
Amazing.
So amazing.
And I think one thing that I personally love when certain skaters are able to play up to the music that they're skating to as well. And specifically with Olivia and Adrian, they took what you could hear, the sound effects in their music, and really played it up towards the end of the program. And the audience really appreciated that. So I think just little things like that really do bring together an entire performance, right?
They do. The musical notes are so important. So when skaters hit that and their lines are beautiful and the delivery is just on point, it makes for the total package.
Now, Mariah, before we go to Mariah, I want to say, let's bring up the final results here now onto your screen. I mean, come on now, two U.S. Teams right off the top here, taking first and second place. And I know that we want to delve a little bit deeper into that. Mariah, I want to specifically talk to you about Madison Hubble and Zachary Donahue taking that first place spot. Thoughts about their free dance performance?
I was getting a little bit emotional backstage.
We saw that video, yeah.
Maddie and Zach were my Olympic roommates, and you know, their performance at the Olympics wasn't what they wanted to put out. And this program, I wasn't sure about it when I watched it when they performed it in Boston not too long ago, but I did say I love the lift. The lift is so cool. Here it really came together, and I felt the emotion. I just goosebumps the whole time, just the way they skate with each other, but somehow manage to bring us into the performance, the speed, the flow, the edges, and to see not a single bobble in their twizzles. I knew that they had won tonight, but the 1 point difference between first and second, just look at this speed. What does this even feel like when it's happening?
I want to know.
I don't know. I don't think I'll ever find out, but I will continue to admire it from afar. Mm-hmm. Just everything is so beautifully placed, but so full of genuine emotion, and I think that we all felt it out there. This is
Yes.
October, though. The Olympics are in February, so if it's this good now,
think about how
Can you
good
imagine?
it'll be
that's why
then.
they have the protocol and they'll figure it out. But as a non-ice dance expert, I'm not an expert, I thought this was close to perfection for me.
We were hooked, and Mirai was in tears after their performance.
And Paulina, you made a good point, just a few points behind. I mean, just insane to see the scoring here between first and second place, Chalk and Bates. Let's talk a little bit about them as well.
Yes, so they have such a unique free dance. So different, and it's so awesome to see them reinvent themselves this season. And they've been in this game for so long, so of course, you know, they want something fresh, they want something new. I thought they did a fantastic job tonight, and they were so close to Maddie and Zach. It's going to be a very exciting season in ice dance because it is so close between these two pairs, and we know that they're both vying for that Olympic team spot in terms of the team event.
This story right here, this storytelling aspect is so beautiful. I believe that she is an alien and he is a space cadet.
Yes.
The Daft Punk, the packaging
Daft
of
Punk.
the costume, the hair. I really felt the way that they were telling us the story, and I found it really interesting that our top two American teams, both first and second, did not choose to go a traditional route with picking Olympic, music that has been used. These are both original programs, and the Alien Space Cadet theme that I may have
if this is not the theme, we're so sorry, Maddie.
But this is what I saw and interpreted, and I think that
it was so wonderful.
I loved it. I just the storytelling aspect. Original is very difficult because it has never been done. You just don't know how it'll translate on the ice, and I loved it.
Now,
very good.
Between the dance and the women, obviously full of tons of moments here, emotional moments, exciting moments. But before we say goodbye, we do have a few other moments that we'd like to talk about, specifically ones that stood out the most to us. One in particular that I really enjoyed, Alexa Knierim and Brandon Fraser. So much joy. They brought the crowd to their feet. I mean, really an incredible performance by them as well. Basically skating to a song, I believe it was Fix You by Coldplay. Oh, just amazing here, from just their outfits, being out on the ice, and to me, at least being an outsider, right, not being necessarily a figure skater like the two of you, I find so much joy when I see that the two of them are able to really play off of each other here. It really does seem like they do enjoy being out on the ice together, and that just makes viewing it so much more enjoyable when the two of them are having a good time out there together. And this performance in particular brought tears to my eyes, and I think for the two of you, you also had a similar experience. Paulina.
Definitely. I mean, Alexa, again, I keep saying this, but whenever she lands her throws, her smile is my favorite part.
Yes.
So it's amazing.
Now, Mariah, let's talk about the one who stole the show last night, Vincent. Let's get right to it. What are your thoughts? No thoughts.
Just
blank.
Let's talk about
Speechless.
What happens backstage. It's a waiting game, and you're waiting, and when you're competing against the best like Shoma and Nathan, even though they make mistakes, their protocol is so stacked that they left points on the room for Vincent to come in, but they still did so many quads. And then he came in and laid it down,
he killed it.
Flawless. He did have some cues. I felt that they were really hard on him when you looked at the protocol, because, I mean, did you see that?
The flow.
Yes.
Ugh.
It almost looked easy when this jump is so difficult, and I think we only know that because we skated. He made it just.
And can I just say, I'm just happy he's finally getting this recognition that he completely deserves, by the way. The performance he put out there was just insane. There were some skaters that we thought were going to be at the top of the podium. Things didn't necessarily work in that way come the men's free skate, but it all comes down to what you can do in the moment. And for Vincent, it was that winning spot.
I have to say, sorry, he did say, such a Vincent-like thing to say was that, I want to win when everybody brings it to the field. And I thought that was a sign of true sportsmanship, because he laid it down, but he said, I want to win when everyone else lays it down. And I think that he sees that he can still improve as well. And he loves a good challenge. He was inviting his competitors to come back stronger.
He really does. And it is really hard as an athlete. Mariah and I have both experienced this, coming into an event without a lot of talk about you, without a lot of hype from the media, from whoever's coming to the event. And for him to just come out and let his skating speak for itself was probably my favorite part of this whole event.
And that Nathan is already back home, probably training already. He's trying to figure out where he, it's such a split-second decision almost to not pull into a jump. Mm-hmm. And we were talking about how for us, I could never pop a triple, because I can't even imagine quads. I couldn't pop a triple into a double. So a single is 0 points. And so, when your competitors are doing quads, which are racking up 15 points, when you do a double, it's like it's hard to stay in the like on the top. Sorry, I'm like tongue tied, but I know that we all have full faith that Nathan will be back, and I think that this will make him even hungrier.
Definitely.
I think it'll be interesting to see how it stacks up for the rest of the season. Just a reminder is that the Skate America is the very first competition of the Grand Prix series. Skate Canada is just a week away, so lots still to happen in the coming weeks and months, all the way through December, and then obviously with the Olympics coming out in February, 4 months away, there's basically a stacked lineup of figure skating competitions coming up, and it'll be interesting to see where these skaters will land come the next few months. Now, I believe that the podium, there might still be a few skaters out there right now. Look at this. I mean, again, we were talking about just how incredible some of these skaters were, and seeing those two first and second place, I know makes you guys very happy, right?
We're proud. We're proud of our teams.
Lots of smiling faces with the masks on, obviously, but I would say it's better than what we were here this time last year. 2020 was a very weird season for figure skating, but we're back better than ever. Fans are in the stands, and again, the Grand Prix series continues. This is all going to be able to be watched over on throughout the entire season on Peacock Premium, as well as the Olympics. They're going to be in February, but before that, these American athletes will compete for the titles at the U.S. Championships, which I know are very excited, coming up in Nashville. That'll be in January, I believe January 3rd through the 9th, and perhaps, just perhaps, you might see the three of us there. For now, guys, this is crazy. We've done a lot of shows over the last couple of days here. Do you feel good? Do you feel refreshed? Do you feel like we're ready for the next one?
It's been so fun. I can't wait to keep improving.
I love it. Well, we'll see you guys
Such a
soon.
nappy
And again, you
mindset.
can continue to tune in here on Facebook as well as on YouTube. See you next time.
Fans, I am so excited about welcoming you to my hometown of Nashville for the 2022 Toyota U.S. Figure Skating Championships. It will be an awesome backdrop as we return to live figure skating events. The final competition before U.S. Figure Skating nominates its athletes to the U.S. Olympic team.